Good morning to each and every one of the 17 subscribers I woke up to this morning. And today I've got a message that's twofold. It could mean two different things, or it could be two different messages for the same situation. First of all, I was shown a steamed pudding, still being steamed, and this pudding was just never ever ready. It has been steamed for hours and hours and hours and days, and it was never ever ready. There is something in the making that is not quite ready, or maybe it is ready, but it's been over-egged, it's been overboiled. Perhaps you are about to embark on a new career or a business or a new relationship, and you're over-egging it. How do I put it? You're hanging back and hanging back and hanging back because you want to be absolutely, totally sure. If you're not sure at this stage and everything isn't falling into place and you're having to keep that pudding on the boil, then there's something missing. Maybe there's something missing from the ingredients. Maybe you know that it's not quite right and it never will be quite right, but you're still hanging back. The second thing, and also with that steamed pudding thing, I believe it might even tie into the video I did the other day about this beautiful cake that gets landed and everybody's rushing to get a piece of this cake, and it's not sweet and it's not a good deal and it's a bit of a scam, a bit of a trap. It could be that this cake that I saw landing and so many people being scammed into thinking it was all singing, all dancing, and it was a done deal. It was the best thing since sliced bread. I think maybe if it ties in, I think it does tie into that as well on a larger scale, that this cake, the people who are making this cake, the people who are about to make this offer know that the deal isn't sweet, so they're hanging back. Interesting to find out what's coming up in the news. I don't really look at the news, I don't look at the television, I don't, there are certain sources of media that I do trust, and it's not the mainstream, I can tell you. It might mean something to you if you live in a different country, and it does mean something to me, but we're yet to see that play out. And the second thing I saw was a person slogging their guts out on a treadmill, running and running and running, and in front of that treadmill was a carrot. So we've got the old carrot and the stick scenario. This person is reaching for a goal or reaching for something, and the longer this person is running on this treadmill, the carrot is starting to decay. So perhaps you've had an idea, or you're about to embark on a partnership in business, or it's a relationship that you started that you worked really hard at, anything that you've worked really hard at, and whatever that goal was at the beginning is now not looking quite so attractive. Maybe you feel as though you've been at it too long. Maybe you've come to a crossroads and you've decided that maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. This goal that I had is not as attractive. This person that I was looking at is not quite what I thought they were, and all the effort and time I've put into that and love that I've invested into that wasn't worth it. Well, it was worth it, whatever it is. It was worth it because it's taught you something. But there's no sense in running after a rotten carrot. So get off the treadmill. maybe that's easier said than done. Maybe you're bound somehow. There's some air of disappointment with this treadmill vision, in that the person putting all the effort in is not seeing any gain from that, and is only seeing the goal slip away. Whatever that carrot is to you, it's no longer attractive. And you can carry on running on that treadmill after a decaying carrot, if you like. And you can tell yourself that the carrot can go back to being fresh and tasty again. But when a carrot is decayed, it just continues to decay. That might seem a little bit cryptic. You might have to watch that bit again. I don't quite know where this is coming from, but it's coming from, well, I know where it's coming from. And you know where it's coming from. And as I watch tarot readers. I watch some absolutely awesome tarot readers. And they always say, take what's for you and leave what's not. This is a general reading. This is a general reading. This is the energy, the vision, the messages, the energy that I'm reading, because it's the energy that I'm receiving. Other tarot readers will receive different energies. We're all messengers. We are not all going to state the same message. And as a tarot reader, I'm not the type of tarot reader that will only give good news, happy news. I'm not going to tell you that Aunt Fanny next door's aunties, uncles, cat down the road's died. There is an air of professionalism about reading tarot. There is responsibility surrounding reading tarot. But if I wasn't honest with the messages that I received, then I wouldn't be being true to myself. And I wouldn't be doing any of you any sort of service. Tarot is a tool, a divination tool. The messages I get to me. Tarot is a tool to help with that connection between the earth plane and the spirit world. And I receive the messages that I receive. I can't choose them. So, hope that makes sense. So, this pudding is being over-egged. There is something that's been in the making for too long. Maybe you have thought about entering into a business partnership with the carrot, and possibly one of the partners isn't as enthusiastic as you are. Maybe your relationship partner isn't putting in as much effort as you are, and you're beginning to see them in a different light. So, 17 subscribers. Let's see what the Rider-Waite deck has got to say to us today about the carrot and the treadmill and the overboiled pudding. Okay, so I saw the card yesterday. It's come out today. It's the Fool. So if you have a pudding that's being overboiled, oversteamed, it's not going to be edible. Well, I mean, you could try and eat it, but you might break your teeth on it because once it's cooled down, it'll be rock hard. If there is something in your life that you've put a lot of effort into, you've never felt ready, you've hung on and hung on and hung on, and you're still not ready, you've got a choice. You either take the pudding out of the steamer, in other words, you either decide to just do it anyway, whatever it is you're deciding to do, or you walk away and you start a different journey. If you're putting a lot of effort into something and you're seeing no gain, you have a choice. You can either continue to run after a decaying carrot that will continue to decay, or you can step off the treadmill and you can try a different tactic. If you are trying to lose weight, or you have a particular health regime, a fitness regime that isn't working for you, if you've been at the diet forever and nothing's happening, if you're not seeing the numbers going down, if you're trying to tone up and gain muscle and you're not seeing any results after slogging your guts out for months and months and months, maybe it's time to stop what you're doing and reevaluate, possibly with someone who knows what they're talking about, a nutritionist, a fitness person, and try and figure out what it is that's stopping you get the results that you want. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're going through the menopause and you've got the rubber ring around your belly, and what are you going to do? Are you going to accept it? Or are you going to continue to try different things? I think even Einstein said something, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't know the whole quote. He said something about if you do the same thing over and over again and expect different and expect results, that you don't get something like that. So if you continue to try and figure out a problem by approaching it with something that doesn't work, it's not going to work. Whatever the problem is, whatever the issue you're facing, if you are facing any issue, this might not make any sense to you whatsoever. I know I'm being quite cryptic today because I'm running away with my mouth and I can't even remember what I've said. So I know that I've got spirit with me today. But if it's the pudding, take it off the heat and decide to eat it anyway, or throw it in the bin. If you're reaching for a goal that you're never reaching and the goal's getting less and less attractive, get off the treadmill or carry on. But if you carry on, the carrot's going to continue to rot. Let's have another one. Do you know one of these? Ooh, yeah. We've got the 5 of Swords. You might have some determination to win somehow, but if you have your determination to win or to reach the goal or to get that relationship that you want and expect that person to change, that's not going to happen. This is someone who feels victorious, but in the process has lost something. Friendships, relationships. So with this blinkered goal that you're going for, if you're going for a goal that's blinkered, if it's a relationship that you're going for that's blinkered without considering whether it's worth the effort anymore, whether it's attractive proposition anymore. The only person that you're going to hurt is yourself. I'm going to pull another one. Am I pulling another one, or am I looking at the bottom of the deck? Bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Wands. So, yeah, the Ace of Wands. New start. It's a new start. Wands are about, it's fire energy. It's the fire signs. It's creativity. It's passion. It's a new passion. You can continue on this treadmill and end up being the person losing out. Or you can step off into a new journey and reach for something new. Something that you can be, something new to reach for. A new goal. Maybe a new relationship. Maybe a new fitness routine. Maybe a new diet. But whatever the new is, it's something that you will be excited and passionate about. And rather than reaching for a rotten old carrot, you've got something new to focus on. If you want it. Of course, it is always a choice. Always, always a choice. And I'm reminded of the postcard from Spirit that I read out, and I'm not sure whether it was yesterday or the day before, where it was saying that you will always get more chances. You will always get more chances. If you don't take your chances when they come up and they're offered to you, that chance that would have been delivered to you will go to somebody else, but other opportunities will come up, other chances will come up. It's not the end of the world if you walk away, and hindsight is a beautiful thing. Sometimes we hang on to things that are doing us no favours, hanging on to things for so long, and eventually when we have to give up because we've clung on so long, when we have to give up and you go through that period of devastation, you know, I've lost this and I've lost that and I've lost the other. When you have come out through the other side of that, with the benefit of hindsight, 9 times out of 10, you're able to see that sometimes walking away from things and letting go of things is possibly the best thing you ever did, because it always leads you to something new, something else. So we're going to do wisdom of the Oracle card. 17 subscribers, thank you so much. 17 subscribers. You've got number 38, to be fair. This is a person that's balancing. I can't quite make out what the objects are that she's balancing. She's balancing. It's the scales of justice, fairness. This came up in reverse, by the way. And sitting on the top of her head is a wise old owl. Look at where in your life you feel that others aren't being fair, where others maybe not pulling their weight, where others aren't maybe making as much effort. Because this might be what the carrot and the pudding is all about. Hanging on for it to steam, in the hope that it's going to turn out beautifully. It may be not going to do that. Maybe it's time for conversation. Maybe it's time for honest words to be spoken. And maybe it's time to be prepared to walk away. Right, I'm going to read this definition for this card. It's reminding me of the Justice card in the tarot deck. Maybe this is the Justice card in Oracle form, I don't know. Number 38. It came out in reverse, but I'm going to show it you in the upright while I read the protection message. Where are we? So much information. To be fair, the protection message. Injustice and inequality are part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else, or you are called to answer for a personal slight. You are amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. Choose your cause and commit to it, because you can make a difference. One thing is for certain: if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned, through acts of kindness, empathy and courage. Well, I take from that if you're in a situation, business, fitness, health, partnerships, or even a subject of a country, if you're in an unfair position, because it was in the reverse. Honest words, as I said, being brave enough to stand up for yourself, and to be brave enough to stand up for others. And I've got some things that spring to mind here. It's maybe time to do that. But stand up for yourself, because if you're slogging your guts out for something that's not attainable, that is rotting in front of your very eyes, that is no longer an attractive prospect, it's time to say something. Time to say something. Because it came out that way. And be brave, because sometimes we try and swerve having difficult conversations. We try and swerve having to have an argument because we don't really want the upset, or we don't. Lots of us absolutely can't stand to be involved in arguments. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. People like me, I'm an empath. People like me prefer just to talk it out and be fair and honest. Not everybody reacts to fairness and honest speaking. Not everybody reacts to that in an amicable and grown-up way. Some people get really offended and really shouty and offended by honesty, particularly if you're trying to tell them something about themselves, as no one wants to be told that the way they are acting, the way they are being, isn't bringing you much joy and happiness. I'm hoping this video makes sense because I can't remember what I've said. So I'm clearly running on spirit time today. Right, postcard from Spirit. Top of the deck. Oh, well, we're having the top of the deck this morning. Dear you. What is true for you? Can you be impeccable with your word? Sure you can. As long as it's not used to manipulate others, the truth can set everyone free. Let go of the results. So what was I saying about don't be frightened to speak up and not be afraid of what's going to happen following speaking up. Let go of your fears and allow the truth to empower you and others. This will set into motion a kind of change that will be supportive of you and loving and all kinds of prosperous. This is not a time to compromise and hide your truth from others. Whatever it is you want, go for it and be clear in your motives, especially with yourself. You will be happy you did. This is a time where you will tap into the power to co-create and manifest your best life. Doesn't that feel amazing? And the results? Miraculous. When you tell the truth and ask the same of others, you can learn a lot from life. Oh, you can learn a lot from life's bountiful lessons and achieve your dreams. So don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to walk away. Be prepared to walk away if you have to. It's not all bad. There's always good news on the other side. So, if you feel like you've been slogging your guts out to no advantage, if you feel like you're hanging on to a relationship that's giving you nothing back, and you've put years and years and years into it, if you're working on a project and the people you're working with aren't putting any effort in and don't seem to have the same enthusiasm as you, it's time for a conversation. Time for a conversation. The conversation could set you free, because the conversation, if other people know how you feel, they might go, oh, okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, let's do it again. And it might spark up a bit of enthusiasm in others too and help jolly you along. It becomes fair. Where did I put that car? It starts to become fair, and not speaking up for yourself only hurts you. Have a marvellous Saturday. And once again, thank you, all 17 subscribers. Thank you for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. Take care. Be kind. Bye-bye.